to do a quick video introduction. So welcome to the weekend video clip, and it's Saturday the 7th of April. I just want to set out what we're trying to achieve, what I'm trying to achieve in these videos. Basically I'm trying to provide a roadmap not only of market action but of the risk reward in the market at any one time. So right now it's fairly clear to me that we're near peaks, if not the peaks are in equity markets. The upside potential is limited and the downside potential is large. Now for a longer term trader, and I'm basically a longer term trader, I want to be in positions where I have asymmetric risk reward, but I want more reward and less risk. Right now I see the opposite, less return and more risk. So that isn't where you want to be really. Now even medium term traders, we're trying to catch the swings. Quite a noisy day today out here in the marina, yeah, that's a different situation. You're not so worried about whether there's a major peak in or not. You're worried about getting on board the medium-term swings in the marketplace, and we are developing a system in the WhatsApp at the moment called 6633. If you're going to go short, and 3366 if you're going to go long, and this system could become the next Krakow. I think I say this in the report, in fact. But right now we're developing it together. Very useful to have the input from other traders, and it's a good time to join Big Call, because firstly you have access to the analysis, setting out where things may well be going. You have access to the system, which will eventually be a chargeable product. I hope that if it passes all its various tests. I'm very careful to make sure that if I develop a system and market it, that it does actually work, right, like Krakow for example. And 6633 has some great potential, as I'll be mentioning later in the report. Anyway, that's a brief introduction. Hope you found it interesting, and on to the analysis. Right, we'll start with FTSE this morning, and we have this chart here. It looks to me like we've seen a complete 5 down to there. We've got a clear 1, 2 here. We've got a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Gets a bit messy now with a rather irregular ABC here, but it's hard to come any other way, followed by a 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. So I think this is the low of 1. Now I've got an A, B, C. I'd expect a bit of a pullback next week, perhaps start the ball rolling, and another C wave, taking us up to these resistance levels. The 50% one's interesting because that is also the peak of the wave 4. That's a key level, 7328, and also the Fibonacci 61.8%, 7437. So that's the base of the boundaries of a corrective rally I'd expect to see. I'm looking for sell signals within that area. But right now, I think a little bit of downside next week, could last a day or two, and then we could go lower than this. Don't have to be, I'm not trying to give you positions here. But the risk reward here is that I think the peak is in. We've got 5 waves down, and it looks to me like we're going to see the market go down. But even if we take this out, I can't see much upside really. I think the markets have done the vast majority of what they're going to do with the upside, and what's left isn't worth the risk. For short-term traders, medium-term traders, who want to play these rallies and these swings. On the DAX we have a very similar count: 1, 2, 5 waves down to there, 3, irregular 4 to there, and then 5 waves down to there, complete pattern. ABC again, same as FTSE. B wave probably coming in next week, followed by a C wave, resistance up here, wave 4 resistance, at about 12.8. Any move above that would suggest that we may be seeing new highs, not guaranteed. You can see a quite large wave 2 in this kind of situation. But right now, with FTSE and the DAX, I would think the high peaks are in. No guarantees. When I turn to the Dow, we get a different picture here. ABC decline to start with, just think it's a correction. Followed by another A, B, C, which could be a B wave. Another A, B, C, with a retest of the low, but it hasn't actually broken through. We could therefore, this could be an A, this could be an A, B, with a C now coming in with similar parameters. So we could see another rally here with a C wave,
but there is a potential for new highs here because obviously this is a corrective form. One thing we're doing at the moment in the WhatsApp room is testing a new system which I'm calling 6633 or 3366, depending on whether it's going long or short. Now this may become the sort of next crowd gap, I guess, depending on how successful it is. Obviously the testing phase is uncertain, never quite sure what you might find, but certainly it's very, very good at taking profits out of impulsive action. So a move like this one, for example, would be excellent for this system. So if we do see a sharp decline, then 6633 will be a major tool in my armory for profiting from that. But right now I'm testing to see whether it actually works in everyday action, as it were. And so far the jury's out. I mean, yesterday we had some profits, had some losses. I think it's slightly down at the end of the day. That's okay because it makes so much money when you do see the impulsive action, that it doesn't. A bit of churn's fine, but a lot of churn is not fine. So this is something we're actually discussing in the room, and it's actually got an interesting way of developing a system, I think, because I'm getting input from other traders. They're experimenting with it themselves. And I say, if you join the room, then you have access to that discussion and the system. Whereas once it's finalised, it'll be promoted like Card Gap, I suspect. That's my plan. There may well be a bot as well. Anyway, that's the future. Right now, it's got to pass the test, but certainly it's excellent at taking profits out of this kind of move or that kind of move. And because of the way it works, very, very low risk initially. When you risk £100 or so, but with the right kind of move, you can end up with a profit in the thousands, which is a nice way of trading because it's the risk reward is particularly attractive. Right, gold is still keeping us guessing. We need a breakthrough really, but the resistance level between 1360 and 1380. I mean, this is an ABC, which is suggesting that maybe there's an uptrend. This is quite impulsive. This is also an ABC, again suggesting that maybe we should be going up. Took out 1320, which is a key level, only by a very slight margin. Sitting buyers might well be coming in now, but I mean, it's a bit of a gamble buying these things. I mean, it's fairly low risk. You can get in at say 30. You've got a 10-point stop, £10 a point, £100 risk. Not a bad trade in many ways, but it just keeps on jerking around, then it's not going to get very far. But there is a possible one wave, ABC 2 wave, so there's some potential here, but it's really up here that the serious business needs to be done. All right, Bitcoin. We had the low at 6,000. We had this potentially impulsive rally off 6,000. Since then, we've been dawdling around in a rather complicated A, B. Hard to count actually. I mean, this could be an ABC as well, double zigzag type thing. We keep seeing attempts to make lows. Let's have a look at that in a bit more detail. Low at 6.4. So again, you can perhaps count this as a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but pretty messy. And this is not ideal either. That looks quite impulsive, but it could be an A, I suppose. A, B, C. So let's just look at that in a bit more detail. Because that could be a 4, obviously. That could be a 5. So you could have a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's plenty of 5 as well. We're trying to bounce again. We've been trying to bounce a lot recently. 1, 2, 3. Again, if we see a 4 and a 5, that would be encouraging. But it's all a bit messy. And the key thing is, are we going to see a strong rally or are we going to break 6,000? My view is that the risk reward now is positive, that the downside is limited, and that the upside has, again, a lot of potential. And once Bitcoin starts moving, the altcoins will do the same. Generally, the altcoins amplify what Bitcoin does. So as it goes down, they fall further. If Bitcoin goes up, they rise more quickly. At least that's the lesson of recent history. They, of course, change, things do. But that's what I'll be looking for, some evidence of a 5, and then a 3, and I'll be buying for a stronger rally. Right, that's all for today. If you found it interesting and useful, back to report from Tuesday morning for subscribers, where we'll continue, and also we'll continue our discussions of the new system in the WhatsApp room. Have a great weekend, thanks for listening, and bye for now.